Wilson, then Wes Rucker.
Yeah, Rick, seemed like Fulke and Josiah weren't really factors tonight. What were they not doing? What were they not able to do?
Well, Fulke, what they did is exactly what we thought they would do. Get him out there and get matchups with him where they would, we knew they were going to try to drive him, make him play defense. We knew that was going to happen. And offensively, he never established what we needed to get done. Well, we got the ball there, but he went 3 for 8 from the free throw line. That's tough when you got a guy you're counting on to give you something around the rim or just, get you there. And, but Josiah, I thought, tried to do what he needed to do. We had to, at the end, just get a group of guys out there that we felt could guard because we did not do a very good job of that. But with all that said and done, offensively, we were terrible to start the game. We turned the ball over 3 times to start it, just a travel call, falling over ourselves, and Santi again gets stripped. But give Alabama all the credit. I thought they came in and they did, again, there was nothing that they did that we didn't talk about for a couple of days and what we needed to do. We didn't stop it. And when we tried to make the adjustments, we knew they would shoot the threes. They were, the second half, 8 for 11. But our offense was terrible. And, again, give them credit for that, even though I thought Eve not being in the game really hurt us. I thought that was a big thing because he's a difference maker out there. He had a couple of tough calls that went against him, but where he really, I thought, made good plays. And then Jaden would thrive in a game like this and him not being there. But, Mike, honestly, and even with all that said and done at the end of the game, if we'd have taken care of the ball, made a couple of shots, we had chances. They were missing their free throws and giving us a chance, but we didn't get it done. And you got to give them credit. They came in and had a plan. They worked it better than we worked ours.
Then you picked up that technical late in the first half. Was there a call or a moment that bothered you, or why were you so heated at that point?
Well, what happened when Santi was guarding the ball and the way our defensive game was set up, they called a foul, and we thought it was on Keon, who was off the ball. And, what number, Santi?
25.
25. And so we were surprised when we found out that it was Santi because we thought it was Keon's foul. And so we asked them if they were sure, and they didn't know what we were talking about. So I asked one of the referees to ask the referee that made the call, was it a on-ball foul or an off-ball foul? He said it was an off-ball foul, which is correctable. But there's 4 minutes to go in the half or whatever it was. Santi's got to leave the game, and that's something they can go check. They can do that. They chose not to do it, and I kept asking them, what are you doing? And so the referee that made the call was on the baseline. He told the other referee it was an off-ball foul, which if it's an off-ball foul, it's Keon. Then he came down, and we talked, and I asked him, I said, why didn't you go check the foul? And he said that it was an on-ball foul. So, well, you just told your other referee partner that it was a off-ball foul. And he said, I didn't. And then the referee came in and said, yes, you did. And then he said, I guess I used the wrong verbiage. And then I don't know why an official from the other end we were talking about it. I don't know why he came down because, those guys were great. The 2 guys I was talking to, and I said, hey, I get that. And then before we get a technical foul. And so I don't know why a guy 50 feet from a conversation is going on with 2 other officials, but that's what happened. We're just trying to clear that up. And then he finally said, I used the wrong verbiage, even though I don't know, again, if that's what he did, that's what he did.
Rick, I was going to ask you how Jaden Springer was doing. It looked like he was trying to get loose and get going and just couldn't do it. And also you talked about the technical coming from 50 feet away. You've been coaching a long time. Have you ever experienced a technical from 40 or 50 feet away before?
No, I don't know. Because, the guys that were in the conversation, they understood it was big, and they were calm. They were good with it. And maybe I was too animated. I don't know. But I just wanted to know. That's a big play. If the foul's wrong and they, again, they could have gone to check it. But like I said, he had said when he was on the far baseline, he said, hey, it was an off-ball foul. And so if it was an off-ball foul, Santi should have been able to go back in the game. And so we had to keep playing until there was stoppage. And then he said, well, I used the wrong verbiage. And I believe him. I have no reason not to believe him. But that's not what was communicated to us. And I was just trying to figure out, hey, what is it? Is it on ball, off the ball? And when he first came up, he said, I didn't say off ball, but he did say off ball to his other partner there. And so that's what I'm basing it on. Okay, if it's off ball, go fix it and let Santi can come back in the game. But I don't understand, again, why someone that far away would do that. I don't. I mean, I don't get it. I don't.
And
Brent
how,
Ramey, Troy Provo Heron.
Rick, you have any kind of update on Jaden Springer? And if you guys are without him moving forward, what does this offense have to do differently to execute better
Well,
without him?
I'm gonna look hard at it, maybe change the lineup, do some things, because we got to get it. I mean, even John Fulkerson, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, guys can take his minutes. I mean, he's been around long enough. He's got to bring more than he brought today. I mean, he's got to do it. I mean, I thought he was locked in trying to do it. We had to do some things today that we haven't gotten to practice a lot because of the foul situation and what we were in. But again, I don't want to take away from Alabama. They played a terrific. They did what they wanted to do. But like I said, with all that said and done, we had chances at the end. If we could have just executed in the last 3 minutes.
Any idea on Springer?
No, I don't know. I'll find out when we walk back there in a little bit.
Rick, what changes for you guys defensively when Eve isn't on the court defensively for a long period of time like that? And do you think it's important for guys to realize that they have to be better when he's not back there kind of cleaning up their messes?
Well, you're right. And again, I think in a game like this, and I think any game, not just here, but any game, there's some times in the game you honestly could throw out the scout report. Guys just have to buck up and say, hey, man, it's me and you, especially in a situation like this when they want to run a spread game and just trying to pick on guys. At some point in time, you got to say, I'm not going to get beat off the bounce. And if he scores, and again, we can't tackle somebody and keep him from shooting the ball, but we've got to make them shoot as difficult a shot as we can. And we didn't do a good enough job with that. And guys that we know that can stay in front of the ball, they've got to. And again, I told the coaches during the game I said, this is good for us. This is everything we've talked about for the last 2 weeks. We haven't got it done the way we needed to. And again, when you play against a team like Alabama, you have to guard the 3-point line, and they're capable of getting it going, but they got us in rotations because, again, getting beat off the bounce or post guys getting beat, and when they were on the perimeter. And but again, we didn't deserve to win, and they did.
Nicholas Hill and Rob Lewis.
Coach, today your team only had 7 assists compared to 9 turnovers. Just what do you think was the main reason why the assist to turnover ratio was below 1 today? And what do you think you guys have to do moving forward in order to correct that?
Well, offensively, you're not going to get assists if you can't make shots. When you go 21 for 66 and some of them are off the pass, we're 4 for 21. We had some good looks at it from the 3. I mean, we had some, but again, some things like Santi driving in and getting a couple of shots blocked. I mean, that's what he was doing a year ago. Those kind of plays, you can't do that. I mean, for our offense, end of a shot clock, 3 seconds, you can't get back cut and give up an end one play. You just so many plays like that you can think about. When you're not playing well offensively, you can't help them defensively in special situations like that when they're shooting the ball. They got comfortable. There's no doubt. They got some rhythm going, and I don't think we ever got it going. But again, give them credit for that. But we never got to play even John a lot together because of the foul situation or Eve's foul situation. The fact that John couldn't guard anybody.
Coach, how big of a factor do you think just simply shot selection was in the offensive struggles today?
I think we rushed, Rob. I do. I don't think we got in our flow. We came down to court and we had some advantages, and we didn't pass the ball. Guys got sped up, and then everybody looked like they wanted to go try to do it themselves. And but again, when you're counting on a guy like John Fulkerson and Eve Pons to be a big part of what you do, and they're not out there, and we don't get to establish the way we really want to play, then Jaden's not out there. He's become a big part of what we want to do. And I mean, we just weren't good. We weren't good, and we got exactly what we deserved.
Gustavo and Ben McKee. Gustavo, we can't hear you. We'll go to Ben.
Coach, when Alabama made those 5 threes in a row, what kind of went wrong there? And then just in general on the threes, do you feel like you all were maybe doing a poor job of over-helping or poor switching?
Well, and again, we adjusted to that. We got where we're not going to overhelp, But again, they run what we call blur screens, and they do it 90% of the time. And we had a couple guys that we were concerned about that would get messed up in that, and it happened. And yeah, but we adjusted where we wanted them to play off the bounce. We wanted them to stay back, and the guy on the ball, if they raised up and hit a three contested, we would live with that. What we didn't want was driving, kicking out, getting a scramble. The offensive rebounds hurt us at critical times too. It really did. But we again, we just didn't do a good. Give them credit, because I don't want to take anything away from them. But we'll have to get a lot better.
We'll go back to Gustavo if he's got his mic working.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Coach, what are your analysis over Santiago Vescovi's performance? I feel like he was electric, and I saw even you and him having an interesting, talk, in the sideline. What's your analysis of Vescovi's performance tonight?
How would you analyze Santi's performance tonight? And at one point, it looks like you and him were having a discussion about something toward the end of the game.
Well, again, you go back and you look at his line tonight. Santi was played 33 minutes. He was 5 for 15, 3 for 8, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. I mean, he's a point guard. I mean, he's got to do more than that. My plays with him is he's got to stop. He did it a year ago. He can't drive into the basket and think he's going to shoot underhand layups. And again, I told him at the end of the game, we had a play on where he's got to go get the ball. He let Keon have the ball, and Keon came down and lost the ball. And that's on a point guard. It's like we talk about a quarterback. He's got to run the team at that point in time. And the discussion you were talking about was the discussion that we were having.
The last one for Coach goes to Wes Rucker.
Hey, Rick, I guess with all the COVID stuff, we're not around as much. And so there's not as much we can see sort of behind the scenes. Was this team's preparation for this game fine? Has this team been overconfident at all, or was this just a bad night?
Wes, I don't know if they are overconfident. That's over with now. So I don't know if they were or they weren't. Our preparation, we prep. Our guys I thought did a good job, but we talked about what we need to get done. The bottom line, we didn't execute. And again, I think you guys know that whether you're talking, if you go back, I didn't hear Dabo Swinney last night, but I guarantee he's saying the same thing. We had a plan. We worked on the plan. The preparation was good. We didn't get it done. And you got to give them credit. They had a plan. They worked on it. They got done what they needed to get done. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. One team got it done. One team didn't.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.